Hey everybody, it's Noblars here. Welcome to once again another tutorial Tuesday. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to bend metal to get the same piece, get the same shape, same everything. Just so some of the pieces are basically all the armor that you would make. You're going to need two of them. So you're going to need two knee pads, you'll need two shoulder pads, etc. You're going to need to copy it for both sides of the body. So this is going to be just a quick technique showing you guys how to make the same piece so your figure doesn't look a little lopsided and makes it look more uniform. But at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys or tell you guys a quick little update about some things. I got a new paint, well not a new paint, but I have this orange which I'm going to make a figure that you all know and love with that. And then I have here my Senate Commandos that I'm going to do something with that too. And I think I might introduce a new I guess it will be a new category that I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk more about that at the end of this video because it's going to be an idea. Let me know what you think. So anyway, we're going to get to this tutorial. I do want to first mention that I didn't do the UPick I paint video, which I was supposed to do on Monday, which I feel like I've only gotten one Monday right out of like this past month. But the reason I didn't get it right was because I picked the paint scheme that I really wanted to do because it's a really cool one, and they said the wrong color, or they said a number that didn't exist, so I just wanted to clarify, hey, you said this number, it's not the right one. And they didn't get back to me, so I really want to do that color scheme, so if they don't answer me, I'm just going to pick another one. But the reason I didn't do it was because I was kind of caught up on trying to contact the person whose color scheme I wanted to use. So anyway, with that being said, I will probably most likely, once I'm done this tutorial, get started on that custom. If I don't pick theirs, I will try to get a hold of them and make it anyway some other time, and I'll just pick someone else's because there's a lot of really cool color schemes. But anyway, you guys came here to see this tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and get to that. What you'll need is your material of choice. You can really make this armor out of anything. You can make it out of fabric, you can make it out of paper. That's what my brother used to do. He was really good at using paper for his armor. He kind of layered it up so it'd be thicker. I use metal, so I'm going to be using metal in this tutorial. So what you're going to do is, I'm actually going to need this back. We're going to do, I'm making a figure here, and I'll tell you who this figure is going to be at the end of this video, but I'm going to need the elbow piece, because I started putting the elbow piece back onto my figures. It is going to be this one right here. So I need two of these elbow pieces, the elbow pad, right there. So I'm going to be cutting that out, and I will also be cutting out this wrist piece right here that goes over the wrist, so it's going to be that piece. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a piece. For the wrist piece, we'll do that one first. We're going to need about a good sliver, so maybe about that long. I'm actually going to cut it out and then you guys can see. It doesn't need to be terribly wide because you don't want it too thin. You can always trim it down, but you can't add back to it. So something right about that should suffice. Cut right there. For those who don't know what that word means, suffice means that will do. It will, good enough. So once you get your piece, this actually has a cut in it. So I'm going to just cut that off. It actually had a slice already in it, so I'm going to just cut that off. I'll use that for later. You can always use scrap pieces. So take your piece that you have, okay, and then you're going to bend it in the middle. So just bend it in half. Make sure you bend it long ways and not the other way, because then you won't be able to do much with that. Bend it in half. Try to get it in half if you can, as best as possible. Put that together. So once you have your piece bent in half, now this piece is kind of the exception for all the stuff that I do like this, because you get two out of it. What I mean by that is when you cut it, or when you bend it in half, then you're going to cut it diagonally. And keep in mind that the end that you bent, this piece right here, this is the center of it. As you can see, this is open-ended, and this is, because it bends around, this is going to be solid. That's going to hold both of your pieces together. So when you cut diagonally, you're going to want to leave a little bit of that piece intact. So let's say I cut it right here, and then go all the way up to the other side, diagonally. And now I have two pieces, like so. And these are going to be for two different figures. So this is the one piece that you actually get two out of. So I don't need that one. I'm going to leave that one over there for another figure. But what you have here is, because I left a little piece here at the end intact, what that means is when I bend it like so, because it's still intact, they're going to be held together, which is really nice. When you cut it, they don't go flying all over the place. And if you store them, I actually have some of these already pre-cut, so when I'm making my figures, it goes a little quicker. You can just throw it down, put it in your pile, and when you need it, you can grab it, and you already have the two you need already cut, which is great. And as you can see, it looks like it's one piece, but it is the exact same shape, same piece, and there's actually two of them, which is awesome. And when you want to use it, so we're gonna go ahead and cut. I'm not going to use it right now because I don't have the arms, and I'm not going to apply this. But what you're going to do is, you can look at it, make sure everything's straight, make sure it's how you want it, and then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to just cut that other piece off that holds them both together, just that tip, like so, and then voila. Now you have two identical. Granted, this metal, it bends, so it might look like there's different color shapes just because the light's reflecting off of it because it's bending differently, but you have two exactly identical pieces for your figure. That way it'll look more uniformed, and that's what we're trying to go for. And then when you have the other piece is going to have the majority of this still intact. So if you fold it in half, actually before you fold it in half, because the way it's cut, this one's going to have more of a point, and you don't really want that point, so you can just trim off the end so it's more of a flat edge. And then we're going to go ahead and take our X-Acto knife and push it in between here because it's kind of tight pushed together. And as you can see, when we bend this one in half, like so, the majority of it is stuck together, which we don't want. We want two pieces. So we're going to push that back together, hold it from the other side. Whoa! We're going to just push our camera. I feel like I hit my camera, like almost every video I have, I hit my camera in some way. I don't know if that's back to where it was, but it's alright. So we're going to just cut off that other piece. You got to be really careful because you don't want to cut too much. Just, well, make it one cut, but make sure you get just enough that it stays intact. And then once again, we have two pieces exactly the same. So with that one single strip of metal that you saw me cut out at the beginning, that length, you can get two sets of this arm piece right there. So that's how you do that. And then I do the same with other pieces, but I'm going to show you guys how I do the elbow pad. I already have that piece already made. Again, you're going to cut a sliver about, actually I'll make another one so you guys can see how I do it. But I already do have one pre-made that I will cut. Let's say you take about this much. You don't need a whole lot. It's a small piece and you're just going to trim it down anyway. So put that over there. So you get a piece about like this, about that wide. And then again, you fold it in half. Doesn't really matter how you get there as long as it's folded in half, like so. Okay, and then keep in mind that when you're cutting this, you're going to leave the top piece intact because it's holding both of the pieces together. So, and what we do is with these like shoulder pad, elbow pad, or the knee pad, elbow pads, they kind of have this design to them. So I'm actually going to trim this up quite a bit. Cut off this side just to make it even because that was a little uneven. And I guess that's about a good size. So what we're going to do is cut an angle, cut the corner off, like so. Okay. And then I like to turn it around so when I cut it, it's like cutting the same way. So I'm not cutting it backwards. Cut off another piece. So you almost have like a little triangle in your hand. But it ends right there, and then like halfway up, it goes straight on either side. Turn it around, and then where your cut stopped, you're going to start again and then cut back up the other way. Like so. You're essentially cutting off all of the corners. Okay? So then you're left with almost a diamond shape, and the very tip of that is held together by the metal. I still left the fold part there. because we don't actually want a diamond, we're going to just cut the tip off of the bottom, make sure we get it straight. And then we're going to cut the tips off of the side because we don't want those to be jutting out. Turn that over. Cut that one off. So then we're left with the piece kind of like that. It's almost like a little circle. You need to make sure you don't make it look too crazy. Then you cut off the piece that's holding them together. And then you have your elbow pad. It might be kind of hard to see here, and each time I do this they also look a little bit different, but this one's not too bad. I do like the way this shape is, and it's going to be hard to see. I don't know why my camera's focusing on the background, I apologize. As you can see, it just came apart, and then I have two identical pieces. Even if they're not the perfect shape you want to begin with, you're going to have two pieces that look exactly the same regardless. So even if these are more squared than I would like, once I put a little bend in it, I'm going to put a little bend in this one and you'll see what I'm talking about if I can get it to go. Put a little bend in it like so. Grab your tweezer bees or whatever you want. And then I need a guy's elbow. And then it's going to go right there, which is a good size. And that's going to look really nice on a figure. But that is how you can do that. So I did it with the elbow piece and then the piece on the arm, but you can really do that with any piece. The more narrow, skinnier pieces I have, let's see, like any of these pieces, even the wrist pad, all of this, this has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of armor on this arm alone. You can't do it with the shorter pads because I use the hole punch for those, but for any of these, you can use another pieces of armor. You can use this technique on. So I hope you guys learned something from that. You can apply it to a lot of other things. If you want to cut two, you just use this technique and you can get two of the identical piece. You can even try to fold it more than twice if you want to try to get 3 pieces. If you do more than that, it's going to be hard to cut through. So just keep that in mind. But yes, if you like this tutorial, if you learned something, please hitchhike this video. Let me know what you want to see next, what other tutorials you guys are interested in, and all that good stuff, and I will do my best to make those. One quick other thing is I'm going to be using this orange paint to make another Cody, and I'm going to be using these 3 clones right here, this one and these 2, to make Boil and Waxer again. And for those who said that it's not the 7th Air Corps, that is actually Cody's group. He is the commander of the 7th Air Corps. He's also in charge of the other Legion, the 212th that you guys mentioned, so he's actually kind of in charge of both of them. I just put one of them in the title. But with that being said, I will be using this orange to be making that squad again, and I will be selling them soon. I just got to finish making them. That's why it's there. And with these guys, I was trying to make a day where I was going to pick like a whole week dedicated to a certain type of soldier and just make a lot of different variations. So I'm actually going to get back to that. I'm going to do an update and talk more about that kind of stuff. But yes, hopefully today I will get the You Pick the Paint out. I'm going to probably pick a different paint scheme and just get it done. With that being said, you guys have an awesome day. God bless. Thank you for watching this video. It's raining kind of outside, but the birds are chirping, which is cool. You can't see, but it's raining. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. I think I should say something. I had something on my mind, but I can't remember, so I'll probably come out with an update later. But yes, if you could hit the subscribe button right up here, it'd help me out a whole lot, and I do appreciate it. And if you're the first person to leave a comment on my video, I will give you a shout out, which I will put right up in here. And yeah, you guys take care. I'll see you later.